Hi, I'm Deb Hansen, one of the spiritual directors at the Franciscan Spirituality Center. For many years, at the end of each day, I ask myself two questions. The first is, what was life-giving for me today? And the second is, what was life-depleting for me today? These two questions, as I've been sheltering at home, have become extremely important to me as I get a sense of how I am in this challenging time. One thing that can be extremely helpful to add to those questions is a little bit of creative expression. So I'm going to share with you a very simple way that at home, you, maybe your children, if you're homeschooling, can spend some time with those life-giving, life-depleting questions. So these are collages that I've made, and I've made two of them. One that is life-giving and one that is life-depleting for me. And I made these with things I just have around the house. Cereal boxes. Just cut apart a cereal box that I could glue some things on. And then I spent some time thinking, what right now, sheltering at home, has been life-giving to me? Well, this wasn't really hard to come up with. This right here is a cover from the prayer devotional I use each morning because my faith and my time in prayer is very life-giving to me. This is probably the oddest piece on here. This is a piece of toilet paper with a smile on it. You've probably seen all those toilet paper jokes floating around. They make me laugh, which is very life-giving. I have some leaves here because I've been painting watercolor leaves every day. Chocolate and tea. Middle of the afternoon, somebody in my home will say, is it time for our chocolate ration? And so somebody will put the kettle on, we'll take out some chocolate, and we have tea and chocolate every afternoon. The second one, the things that are life-depleting for me, I just made a paper snowflake. I am not a fan of snow, so that was kind of big and bold there. I have disinfecting wipes right here, part of a label from that. Label from copier paper. I am sheltering at home, working at home, along with a spouse who is also working from home. That causes some problems from time to time. Plus my printer does not like me and it likes to jam. Not very life-giving. Fabric from a homemade mask. And finally a ticket. All those things I can't go and do that I'd like to do, like go to a Bucks game, watch baseball. Not happening right now. Now I could just stop here and have these two collages. But here comes the really deep part of this kind of reflection. And I ask you please, as you go forward with any of this, to please be in a place of non-judgment. This is a time for you simply to sit with what comes up. And so I look at these images, I spend time with them, and I think, what is it about this that makes it life-giving? What does it do for me? So I'm just going to share the tea and chocolate. That's become a very important ritual for my family and me. And as we have our daily chocolate ration, as we have our tea, it gives us a sense of home. It gives us a regular ritual that we do. And that is very life-giving. It may be simple, but it works for us. Disinfecting wipes. Oh, I'm really ultimately very grateful for them, but they bring up something in me of fear because I'm not using these because I'm a neat freak. I'm using them because I'm scared. I'm scared of those little viruses that I can't see, and did they make their way into my home? And so when I look at this, it's a recognition for me of what am I afraid of, what's my fear, and just to be able to name it in that non-judgmental way. So I would invite you to spend some time making your own collages and to especially, again, remember that place of non-judgment, especially if you do this with your kids. You know, on their not life-giving, they may come up with a picture of a screaming parent. Can you sit with that? Because they may need to express it. Even if you've only yelled once, maybe they need to have that way of showing their fears right now. Or if maybe on the life-giving things, somebody shows something that you're like, what in the world? Just sit with it, whether it's you or somebody else. If you make any of these, we'd be happy if you would share them with the FSC. But in the meantime, ask yourself those questions. Sit with those questions of what is life-giving for me and what is life-depleting, even if you choose not to use creative expression to go deeper. Peace and all good.